Selfishness. This is another evil. This is another problem with people that causes them not to become good, effective members of a team, of an organization. Selfishness. Teamwork is affected. People are so self-centered that they are not interested in the welfare, well-being of others. They are not interested in the goal of the organization that they are part of. They're just interested in their own self-interests, in the needs that they have, the aspirations that they have. This is most certainly a big problem. It doesn't even help the individual who is selfish either. That is, the person who is being selfish should know that by being selfish is actually not helping his own interests. It is not serving his own ends. Why? Because, selfishness is something people can observe. And if that happens, then the person is going to be unpopular. And when he's going to be unpopular, people would know that this person is not the one who is to be given, let's say, jobs of assignments of responsibility. So, even if you are selfish, you should not be selfish. You should not appear to be selfish. You see, self-interest is natural. I mean, why would we do anything if it's not for our own purpose? Quite often people say that, you have to be absolutely without any self-desires. You should do selflessly for others. They would want people to always be looking for the interests of others. The fact of the matter is that is not possible. We all have been created by the Almighty in a manner that we have needs at one level or the other. Some needs are very basic material needs, animal needs you may call them, and there are others that are higher needs, emotional, psychological, intellectual needs. But needs, all they are, and they are our needs. So even if somebody is being absolutely unselfish and is looking for interests of others, well, he is seeking contentment of heart, satisfaction of the self, of the mind, which again is self-interest. So self-interest is not a problem. But if you are a selfish person, then most certainly what you're doing is going to be against the spirit of the contract. You will be pursuing your interests and not watching the interest of the organization. That really is something that needs to be checked. Now, there is a balance that needs to be struck between teamwork and self-interest. As I said, we all have self-interest. But our self-interests should converge with the interests of the organization. After all, is it not that the organization has certain goals and the organization belongs to certain individuals? There are some owners of it. There are people who are its partners, shareholders. They are also doing this business for their own interests. But for us to serve them, they offer us salaries and perks, which is what we need. It's our self-interest that we serve the organization because of the temptation of those perks that have been offered to us, the salary that we are getting. There's nothing wrong with it. It's quite natural. In fact, as I said, it's unnatural to expect that a person has no needs, no self-interest at all. However, there has to be a balance between the two. That is, we pursue our self-interest in a manner that we don't hurt anybody else, in a manner that we are also simultaneously pursuing the interests of the organization, and we are also serving others as well. We can be, on the one hand, in a competition with other employees, colleagues, team members, in improving, in getting to the higher levels of the organization, and yet be cooperating with each other. You see, it's a serious misunderstanding of some individuals who think that by being helpful to others, they compromise on self-interest of their own. The fact is that by helping others, we also further and promote our own self-interests.